Did we put out
An email?
like a Twitter post?
No, that's what I just said. I didn't even put out an email or
Oh,
anything. I'm
okay.
like, I'm doing it right now, actually.
Oh, we're live.
Uh, yeah, we're live. I hit live
Oh,
before I even like did the tweet.
what's up?
Yo, what up, y'all? We're back with
Yeah, we're live.
OG Logic 21.
OG Logic. Yeah.
21 episodes already, man. This shit goes fast, dude.
Yeah, it's happening. I'm Bobby Dino. This is Abuamerican, and we're here. We're here for you. We're here for you. We like to talk to each other. Rap, do whatever, but in the long run, it's our desire to be here for you that even puts us in front of these cameras and microphones and all that.
Indeed, it's the crowd.
It's you guys.
Hey.
It is straight up.
Let me finish this last. Sorry, guys, I dropped the ball. I was just telling we were backstage, and I was telling Bobby, I just got home. I work. Oh, there he is. There's the man right there. What up?
Yo, hi guys. Yeah.
Ah,
good man.
What up?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna.
I had to make it. I had to make it today. Had to.
Okay, cool. If this boots me, I'll be right back. But I'm gonna turn my cam off, and I am going to retweet what you just put out there.
Yeah. How's things going out there in London, Sadiq?
I'm tired of this lockdown, man.
Bro, they extended ours.
Oh shit.
Dang,
middle of February now.
February. Yeah, same. We're February, end of February.
These, for illness that has a 14-day incubation time, we've been on lockdown for a year and a month now. When I don't get, how does that add up? Help me with. I know they say intelligence is a problem, but I don't think I'm this stupid.
Ridiculous.
Something ain't adding up here. What's going on?
I don't even have a clue, man. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of my kids being at home. I'm tired of not going out of my routine. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Now
I just do what I got. I just drive. We're supposed to have like these 15-kilometer radius lockdowns, right? Yeah. And basically, it's like you can't venture outside of 15 kilometers of your residence, unless you have like some reason, emergency work or whatever else. If you work like long distance, and I'd be driving 300 kilometers. Dude, literally 350 kilometers. I'd be driving like every weekend. They're like 15 kilometers. Okay, watch this multiplier.
Well, what I tell you guys.
What's that?
I tell you guys. I said what I tell you guys. Shit's gonna cut me off. Cut me right off. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, I use the force multiplier on that. I was just telling Sadiq that in Germany they extended the lockdown, and not only that, they said that we can't travel 15 kilometers. I think we lost Sadiq 15 kilometers outside of our the area of our residence, and yeah, and I'm just every weekend I'm doing 350 kilometers. I'm like, man, screw y'all. I just be like force multiplier. Yeah, that's got to be a multiple of 15. 350's got to be a multiple somewhere.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. I mean, when I was down in LA, and I'll be going back down there shortly because I'm moving back down there anyway, full time. But I'm going to be making another trip back down there, finding a place before I do. But I was just down there recently, scoping out different places, and like they're saying it's locked down, right? But the reality is, I mean, people are out in force. Okay, yeah, most of them are wearing masks, some aren't, but most of them are, right? But I mean, like, even the food place, it's like, okay, buy food, and here we're going to give you an open container of alcohol, and you can just drink it right there, and nobody's tripping, And like, I mean, all this different stuff is going on to where it's like, it's not really a lockdown when you think about it. It's not. Yeah. Like a lockdown is like you're locked down. I mean, you're not coming out of your house. Like you're just whatever, right? Yeah. So using, I mean, the fact that we're even talking about this, the freaking mass shit, but like using this as, a way to kind of control the populace, it's just ridiculous, bro. Because it has nothing to do with the actual pandemic at hand. It just doesn't.
Absolutely not. No one can convince me that. Oops, sorry. What the heck's going on? thing there. Whoops, let me close that. Sorry, guys. Rishi here's got a question though, real quick. I just want to address this, Rishi. I'm going to tell you about Germany, and maybe Sadiq can tell you about the UK, and Bobby can tell you about America. You say, when do you think things might start easing out because vaxes are already being done? In my humble opinion, they're increasing the lockdown times and like making the lockdowns harder to try and force people into getting vaccinations. This is their way of trying to push people. Yeah, we kind of lost them there. I think they're trying to push people to take vaccinations, and that's why they're like increasing the lockdowns. I think this is why they're like extending the lockdowns, is because because there's a huge disconnect in terms of people actually, the vaccines that are available and the people who want them. And there's not really a lot of people who want those vaccines. Yeah. We're seeing a lot of different results coming out. Like, what was it? It was like Finland, I think, had 23 people die after taking the vaccine. They're telling guys, preserve your sperm, go get it frozen before you take the vaccine. They told my wife in UAE, she works in the medical field. They said, don't try and have a child 3 months after getting the vaccination.
Right.
So what exactly is going on here?
Okay, so from what I've personally have witnessed, okay, there are side effects to these vaccinations, and it's not. I guess it comes in a series of 2 shots. It's not the first shot. First shot. I mean, it could be, but that's not necessarily the one. If there's going to be adverse reactions, there's a better chance that it will come from the second shot. And
which we haven't even seen yet.
I have. I've seen it. I know people that have taken it. And like it has caused reactions not only in people that I know, but from people I know that know, like they say, oh yeah, such and such, just said this or that. I don't want to be putting names and putting people's business out there or nothing like that. So but it's just I've already heard of it because I know people that have taken it, and it's I mean, dude, I've never taken a vaccination to where like, after I did it, I had the chills all night long, or I woke up fucking sweating or fevering in the middle of the night or something. I never had a vaccination that did that shit.
I saw 2 ladies. They had some sort of like
ridiculous.
What is it? Sort of like coordination problems after they took it. They were like always shaking and dancing and stuff. I saw
you know what Bell palsy is like. Yeah, man. They're talking about
face melted.
People I'm sorry, man. I'm not laughing. So
it's a mess, dude. It's a mess.
I'm not laughing. I'm just saying. Like that's pretty gnarly though, bro.
Yeah. That's really gnarly.
Yeah.
It's enough to make me not want to take it. I'm just like, hey man, I'm good.
I'm not interested. In the slightest.
No.
Which actually brings us to our topic, which is the current political situation in America, in the United States in specific. And we can kind of connect this. Although we're going to go back, we're going to talk about the inauguration, troops, all this type of stuff. But I just want to jump right into this from the topic we're on. So now Biden, we're going to print America, under a pile of toilet paper called US dollars. He wants to give everybody like $2,000 plus. There's talk I've heard, I don't know if someone can confirm this, that he wants to give out like 5 G's a month or something like this for like Rona relief or something. Who thinks that possibly they're going to be like a drug dealer? They're going to get them hooked on that money and then be like, all right, well, you want the rest of that money. You got to take this here injection here, this vaccination.
I could see something going like that going down. However, I can see that going down. But however, I will tell you this: there ain't no way they're going to be passing out $5,000 a month.
I don't see it.
No way that's happening.
How you going to do that?
It's not. Yeah. Not only does it not just make mathematical sense, okay, but that has to make it pass Congress. Like that has to, and that's just not happening. It's not.
But apparently he has the entire government now. Apparently it's like all Democrats. He's got everything Democrat now.
It just won't. It just won't. But you know what? Maybe I shouldn't say that because like I didn't ever think we'd take what we're taking now lying down, and we are. So I mean, hey, it's a strange world,
It really is,
maybe maybe a lesser amount. Maybe a lesser amount.
Yeah, I can see that.
I think, yeah,
Here's
I
the
can see it
thing.
happening, but just a lesser amount.
The thing that's really tripping me out, because I know we kind of have this under like the label of just like, oh, future politics, but my thing was like the inauguration. Okay, talking about this inauguration that's coming up, right? I 2020 was the year of like things that I haven't seen or experienced in my lifetime. Okay, 2020 was the year of that. Okay, like things that just haven't ever happened in history, right? 2021's shaping up, to kind of continue the trend, right? Because now we're having like
it ain't trying to disappoint.
Yeah. 2021's like, okay, hey, hold my beer, like it's like here I come, No, and so first we've got a bunch of troops occupying, I mean, tens of thousands. I heard different numbers. I heard like 20, I heard 25, 30, I don't know what the hell. But tens of thousands.
Yeah, I heard 25,000.
Okay. Occupying DC, right? And then it comes out that, but there might be an assassination attempt, so we need to, disarm them, right? Essentially. I mean, like, what in the hell is going on? And why does this feel, I'm sorry, dude, like, I mean, not to reference pop culture or anything, but like, this almost feels like some of that Hunger Games shit. You know what I mean? To where it's like you're just surrounded by military and you're just like, yes, I am the new president, hail, and like, I mean, I don't know, dude. Like, and then hear me out, because they've been talking about Kamala, like, oh, Joe Biden's gonna die anyway, and Kamala's gonna be the new president, and she'll be the first woman, black, blah blah blah, like she'll break all these. That I've heard that thing bouncing around before, right? And it's like, hey man, that might be the plan all along. Who knows? It's like you don't know anymore, because you see things being set up as a story, right?
It's theater.
And then you go, oh, okay. Here, exactly. You said it. It's theater. And I tweet that shit sometimes too. I go, hey man, it's show business.
Yeah.
This is show business.
It is. Yeah, the stage is set.
Yeah. And everything that's happening down at that inauguration and all that, the hand on the Bible and swearing, all that stuff, right? Show business.
Yeah.
But have we ever had an inauguration happen with like 25,000 U.S. troops, reserve troops? And I mean,
I can't like confirm that. No, I don't know. I mean, I want to say no, but like I could be wrong.
I've never seen anything like this myself. I
can't
recall anything like this within like historical memory that makes me think that this is something that's ever happened before. So it's a really odd thing. And then to top it off, I was seeing on Twitter that a lot of these guys, they don't have bullets, they don't have ammunition.
That's what I'm talking about.
Empty weapons.
Right.
What are they gonna do
with an empty gun? And then on top of that, apparently they're bringing in New York police too. Hundreds of New York cops to help with, I mean, like, dude.
What constitutional law allows them to deploy United States troops onto United States territory in that method anyway? Hey, what's up, Red Sings the Blue? I mean, is there, as far as I know, that's not really constitutionally acceptable.
It's National Guard, isn't it? Isn't it National Guard? National Guard. Okay, well, there you go. That's why.
Okay, nice little loophole there. Okay, fine. Yeah.
So, is America?
My son's in New York, and so I contacted him because I thought he was going to get, when everything was popping off, going crazy down there in Washington, and then people were like, running through Capitol or whatever, through government offices and buildings. I thought my son was going to get deployed. I was like, you guys can't like get into national stuff, because they were talking crazy talk. And I hit him up and he's like, no, we can't get involved in that naturally, So he's like, we're hunkering down. Because my son is special forces. So I thought, he's going to get deployed, but
no, man. This is, hey,
so this
for your
brings
boy,
me to ask
your boy, this is like small time shit. Like
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
you got to wait until it's like what's that White House down or whatever. Wait until it gets to that level, and then your boy's like, all right, Dad,
Olympus has fallen.
Yeah,
This
look,
brings me to ask, This brings me to ask: is America being brought down for a fall? Is this because obviously, if you follow like conspiracy theories, scripture, and all these things, it does point to America being obviously falling, but there also seems to be a deliberate attempt for it to happen. Is America being brought down from within? Is this all predictive programming
I personally
coming
see
through
a concerted effort to economically cause the downfall of America. That's what I see personally.
from who? From who?
Well, first off, China. You know, I mean, it would seem that that doesn't make sense. Up until a certain point, I think it was till about like 3 years ago, China used to hold the world's largest amount of US dollar reserves, period. Apparently, or debt, or what was it, debt reserves or something like this. Yeah. And China basically dumped that. So now they're kind of like, they're just out loose in the wild, and the reality is, screw YouTube, screw the payment, screw the monetization. China is at war with the world, and the world doesn't seem to realize it. If anybody benefits from the downfall economically of America, it's China. And it just seems like, we got insiders trying to help them out. Why are we printing so much money? This is why cryptocurrency right now is such a big thing. You should see the crypto markets today. The crypto markets are insane. Everything's on the rise. Dude, I've got just two miners. I got more than two miners, but right now, two of my miners, just two. Imagine this. They are producing more money than I make in a month at my job. And I make good money at my job.
It's cool.
People are looking for a way to store and preserve their value. They see that the dollars are going to collapse, and it seems like someone's really pushing. If they start handing out money like candy, 2,000 here, and we're going to give you Rona relief, dude, they're going to wreck America.
So where does
it's not willful and knowledgeable?
Where does the media corporations play a part in this? Like, how do they fit in? Because it seems like they have their own agenda.
Well, here's the thing. Okay. What Craig's saying could absolutely be correct. I mean, especially certain points that he's making on China are absolutely correct. Let me make that clear right now. The methods that are being employed could also be correct too. Okay, I'm not discounting any of that. I will say that I think that the collapse of the United States is a little bit more basic. Okay, it really has to do with liberal versus conservatism versus democracy versus republic. And here's what I mean by this. Okay, the republic, right, tends to be a little bit more conservative, and the republic lasts. The republic was what Rome was using. Okay, and what we took from Rome and use for us. We are not a democracy. We are a republic. Okay, that is the type of government that the United States is, right? However, liberalism tends to shift towards democracy. Everybody gets a say, like what we see now. Everybody gets a trophy. Everybody gets a say. Everybody gets a share. Everybody, we're all equal. We all get everything. Yay, hooray, right? And historically, I don't think there's been any democracy that has not only failed, but didn't turn into a tyranny. Okay? Like anything that was based, that had a government and democracy that didn't just implode on itself and turn into full-blown tyranny, right? So where the republic kind of stands a little bit longer. So when you see this real push towards like being liberal, I know this is kind of long-winded the way I'm saying this, but I'm trying to explain it the best that I can. When you see this push towards liberalism, right, and towards this democracy to where it's like, hey, everybody, almost like a socialism type thing to where everybody gets everything and we're all good, right? That shit doesn't work. It does not work. It does not make for a sound society. And the reason is society has levels to it. Different people do different things, and the people that do cool shit, we hold those people at a higher value. Okay, that's just how we are, right? And the people that don't do shit, we tend to just, okay, well, get the fuck out of here then. You don't do nothing. You know, that's how mankind has been. When you fight your role and you try and make it to where, oh, the guy that doesn't do shit, no, he's just as good as the guy that does every fucking thing. Oh, let's all come together and write. That doesn't work. That does not work. Doesn't work economically. Doesn't work socially. It's so I think that when we're talking about the downfall of America, I think it's because we keep leaning in this direction that doesn't fit the natural just kind of roles of things.
Yeah. You know, so coming to your question, I got another thing, and I knew about this. I had to look it up here just for a second. There's a he's actually a MGTOW guy. He calls it the egalitarian cycle, and basically in the egalitarian cycle, he brings up I'll just read it here. Americans may not, the average age of empires, according to a specialist on the subject, the late Sir John Bagot Glubb, is 250 years. After that, empires always die, often slowly but overwhelmingly from overreaching in the search for power. The United States is currently 443 years old.
That's not true, though. That's not true with lengths of empires.
It's the average. He's just getting an average. This was his field of specialties. This was his field of study. It's sort of like, what's his name? What's that guy's name? Dang it, man. Sex and Culture. J.D. Unwin wrote the book Sex and Culture. And he showed that every time like a society moves away from the from the foundation of its establishment, which is usually a religious, ideology, that it eventually goes into hypersexuality and thus falls apart. And it collapses into, basically, he called it chaos and madness. And he wrote a huge book. I have it here. And he just brought society after society, culture after culture. So it's not an absolute, but it is the average. So I think there's probably something to it. I mean, these guys spend a lot of time on this.
Essentially, what I mean, if you're looking at it from a religious standpoint, essentially what you're trying to do is it's like you're making sin okay, right? And you're making sin okay one step at a time. Okay, like for example, here's one thing. Here in California, and I don't know that it's like this everywhere, because I know that in certain parts of Nevada it is legal, but prostitution is illegal. Okay, you get in trouble for it, right? Why? That's one of those last ones that's like purely just a moral standpoint. It's just morality. It's just like, well, because I feel that sex for money isn't good. I mean, but it's not like there's nothing, hurting or harming or nothing. You know what I'm saying? So
I do.
There's little things like that used to be illegal. Okay. Little certain things or whatever that slowly and over time is just, everything's just okay now. And it's just taking it, we just got to break one at a time, step by step, and it even says, I mean, going biblically, it says sin begets sin, Yeah.
So, here's the book. This is the book. My son tore off the cover. Great guy. Sex and Culture by J.D. Unwin. You can actually buy this now in reprint. Before you could only buy the originals. When I was in London, when I lived there, I found it. There was a single copy. I went to one of those bookstores down in, where was this? Anyway, there's these bookstores, specialist bookstores that find specialist books for you. Guy went on a search for it, found it, 680 British pounds. I went online and I found the same book, 680 pounds. You can now get in reprint for like, I don't know, a few. But very good book. Should check it out. It talks about the collapse of societies, and we see a lot of what's going on right now in Western society, especially the United States, with the madness, genders, and all this, the alphabet people, that our society is on collapse. But let's get back to this whole America thing. What's going on?
What about the media? Because it seems like the media have a strong agenda, but I'm not sure what their agenda is. But for them to, cancel the president of a state, and they're all simultaneously are backing each other, it seems like the media are aligned with the left.
Can I tell you
what I
something?
see.
When I heard that Donald Trump was running for president originally, right? I mean, I've always kind of thought politics like a shit show anyway, because I've seen from a very young age that it's just lies. You know, they promise stuff they don't deliver, and they'll just, you know, they'll all that stuff. But you know, I was just like, oh, okay, yeah, whatever. And then like when I saw that he was elected, right? I was like, in my mind, okay, you know, I'm thinking like, yeah, fuck the establishment, Donald Trump, go handle business, right? But I've never been like a Donald Trump supporter. I've never been like, oh man, this guy's fucking brilliant. Oh man, this guy's just like 4D chess and all this. Never been like that, you know. I'm just like, oh, this guy's, you know, he's just it's show business. He's a blowhard, you know. He made his money and all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
But I have never in my life seen the amount of just straight up hatred and evil focused at one person ever than I have in him during the whole time he was president.
That made me like him. That made while everyone was saying he's racist, I'm like, what president hasn't been racist? You know what I mean? Like, who hasn't been racist? Like, what the fuck?
The funny thing about that was he was never racist before he was president. He always had a bunch of pictures with different black dudes and hanging out.
That's what I saw. He was with rappers. He was at boxing match. Not to say that you can't be racist, but he wasn't exactly like Hitler. You know what I mean? He wasn't like Hitler. I don't know what people were expecting. I felt like he was a guy that most people would have been happy to take a picture with. 6 months before he did his campaign, his show.
Well, that's what tripped me out. Yeah, and that's what tripped me out about the whole thing. Was that like I was like, why are they focusing so much for years on this dude, right? And I can't really say this because people think like, you know, oh well, you're a Donald Trump supporter. Again, I'm not like a supporter of Donald Trump.
No way.
Like I never have been. Way. You know, it's just that if they're trying so hard to get this dude out and not really producing any evidence at all of what they're saying, I mean, the biggest thing that they ever got was that he said something about grabbing by the pussy and they like it. You know, like, I mean, that's about the gnarliest thing they ever got that president doing, which I mean,
I don't know why they're mad, because like when a woman does like you, they will let you do it. I don't even know what that's not even controversial.
Well, sorry to say, Bill Clinton did far worse than that, and so probably as every sitting president, you know, before him. But yeah, it's just weird, and so it made me think, Sadiq, kind of along the same lines. It's like, why do they want him out so bad? Like, because he's fucking up their cha-cha is what it is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I mean? Like, they have a certain thing set up and everybody scratches everybody's back and you get some and you get some and you get some, right? And Donald Trump is coming in there like, fuck it, I'm Donald Trump. You're fired, you're fired, you're fired, you're fired, right? And they're just like, oh, no.
No, can't have that.
All right. So because, you know, like, obviously the conspiracy theorist in me doesn't believe like someone like Trump can't get to power without some sort of assistance from within. So is it a case of controlled opposition where let's put this guy in, everyone hates him while we do something else? Because I just don't understand, like, how, I know America's supposed to be the land of opportunity, but can someone like Trump really just end up in the White House without, you know, are they really that upset about it, that he's a lone wolf just there doing what he wants? I don't know. It just doesn't really make sense to me. Do you know what I mean? Because I don't think these people really I think that they have more power than they actually let on, if you get what I mean. Like, I don't think they would just allow someone like me or Craig to just rise through the ranks and become a president. I'm sure they would.
Well, no, we have history. And it's not the kind of history that like they want for that backstory. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I mean, it's a good question. I mean, but Who knows, man? I mean, I understand what you're saying. It's like, there is an understanding that a lot of these guys that come into office, they're like basically they're puppets,
Yeah.
and they play a particular role. And it would seem like Trump actually, was the what do you call it? The Trump card, and he actually got out of it. But really, I mean, who knows? Who knows? Who knows, man? Who knows? Who can tell?
This inauguration, though.
I mean, I think maybe he actually did slip in, and that's why the media went so bat crap crazy on him, and nuts on him. I mean, where have we ever heard of like someone's social media being just completely banned like this? This is unheard of what they're doing.
Never.
We actually talked about this, I think, last episode. So it's just madness.
Mm.
No, it really is. Am I still on?
Yeah, you're still on. You're still here.
They cut me off.
No, you're here. Maybe you
just can't see you. Yeah.
Well, anyway, I mean that they actually went out of their way like this to block him from social media and all this type of stuff. Now he's on he's on Library, and I think he's on Gab also. They really had something against that guy, and it wasn't normal. It was insane.
Yeah.
And really, when we look at how this election went, where like most of the states just stopped counting ballots. I didn't even know. I don't even know if that's legal. Can they legally do that? I don't even think that's legal. How can you just stop counting people's ballots? It doesn't. It's like, what? This is a democracy of America. You don't just stop counting people's ballots, bro, I don't know what's going on in America, but I think we see a new America, and I don't think it's going to go well. I actually believe, like Bobby said, I think they're plotting on Biden. I think they're going he ain't gonna last long.
Yeah.
He already looked like he about to fall over dead already as it is.
It would fit the script. It would fit the script. So basically, if America falls, is that the end for the West? Because I can't see anywhere else.
Who in the West is going to take America's place?
No one. I think the only place. I think Israel. And I don't think Israel is the West, but I feel
they're too insular. They're too occupied with occupying people's land and stealing their olive trees. Them dudes ain't really. They're not going. Wow.
I don't think they're imperialists beyond the state of Zion, beyond their perceived state of Zion. So I think once they've reached their promised land, but I can see them being a major player. I could see them being a major player in international.
Really, when we look at it, this is really a spooky world when we think about the collapse of the United States. Because I say this all the time. People are like, "Oh, America, they're so oppressive," and this, that. There's like, okay, so you want the Chinese taking over, or you want America taking over and maintaining control? Because we see, I mean, me in specific, when I look at like the Chinese and how they deal with Muslims over there, the Uyghur Muslims, okay, I know who I want to be in charge. You know what I'm saying? You don't see Americans rounding up, Uyghur Chinese and throwing them in re-education camps, brainwashing camps and stealing their kids. You don't see America doing any of that stuff. They don't do it. So it's just like, man, who's going to take the place? Who's going to go walk people on the head or just like be in the corner like, yo, go ahead and get out of line? Them dudes, right?
America have had 400 years of it. They're sitting back on it now.
We all know the streets. Me, you, Bob, we know the streets. And there's always that one dude in the corner like, yeah, go ahead, make that move. Wait, go ahead. That's America. That's America. Is that one guy you like, man, I really don't want to mess with this dude. I could fight him, but nah. Man, let me just go over here and slap this dude over here. That's America. And America, if America's gone, who's left? Is the UK going to step up again? Become
they're finished.
Again?
Have you seen our Prime Minister? Have you seen what a fool we have running? Oh, man. Europe is done. Europe is done.
The West will be done if America's gone. The Russia will just roll over Europe. Russia will just start coming through. Maybe they won't go to war, but they're just going to come in strong arm and do. Yeah, we here. What you going to do? What? Poland?
Yeah.
Shut up. Here's this dress, Sally. Put it on, you little bitch. This is what they're going to do to Europe if America it falls off. The world will be a mess. The West right now, it should be super madly invested in making sure that the United States doesn't fall off until there's somebody ready to replace them. And there's nobody. Germany's not going to do anything. These dudes are so lame that I don't know. I would cheer on the return of the Nazi Empire if America fell, just so we could have some hardcore Westerners.
Oh my God, bro.
Hey, look, man, come on, man, get your flag out, get your swastika, homie. Come on,
you're making my grandpa roll in his grave right now. No,
hey, I hate to say this as an American. I'm a military family. I hate to say this. I'm a U.S. military. We had to fight those dudes. But if America disappears as a power, we're in trouble. We are in trouble. Because we don't have really China doesn't play that whole LGBT minority game. Russia doesn't play the LGBT minority game.
So from
Europe, as a Black American by myself fighting people.
So from a secular view, I might feel like we all like entertainment. The entertainment side of me, I wouldn't want America to fall. The little freedoms to do what we want or whatever. But from a religious standpoint, shouldn't we celebrate the fall of America if it's a return back to traditional values? Because Russia is traditional as far as I know. Maybe keep China away. I don't know what they're on, but I think for the state of our souls, Russia might be a better option than America in terms of.
I don't know about that.
You don't think so?
What I like about America,
that's Sadiq. That's hardcore, bro. I mean, like I understand what you're saying.
He's like, well, give him a break. You don't get the American love like we do.
yeah. That's
just from a spiritual standpoint,
No, I mean that's like the ultimate. That it's one thing, to be like, oh, okay, this is not the other thing. You're like calling down the holy of holies. You know what I mean?
I would be disturbed because so far as we see it, the United States has been the number one supporter of Muslim states. They've given Muslims hard times, but they're also the number one supporter of Muslim states in terms of arming, Muslim countries and keeping them armed. When we look at like the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, Russia was completely hands off. The United States, they were involved, not in a good way, obviously. But when we had like Bush Jr. in there, Bush Jr. actually was on the side of the Palestinians. He was actually like, hey, yo, leave these people alone. And then that's basically, I don't know what happened with that, but he started off really strong on them. I don't know what Trump's stance on it was, but he's kept his hands out of there, really.
And do you notice how like you notice how Bush Jr. was given a real hard time in the media too? This is back before people were really even tripping on the media like how they do nowadays. But he's friendly toward Muslims, and he's given a really hard time by the media. And who is the media like all owned by and run by? You know what I mean? Like it's
yeah.
Not be
he's made out to be a big stupid dummy.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah,
he was.
Yeah. So I mean, from my perspective, the United States, it's an imperfect country. Obviously, they have their own interests, but they have been by far and large really good to Muslims in general. Like Saudi Arabia, most of the Gulf countries are under threat from Iran. Largely, we're gonna bring secularism into this. A Shia populist nation, and they're very well armed, they're very well equipped by Russia. And the United States has kept them at bay. That's why they keep I think it's the 4th Fleet in Bahrain. That's why they have what is it called? Is it CENTCOM? CENTCOM is in Qatar. It used to be in Djibouti, then they moved it to Qatar, I think, or the other way around. I don't know. They keep a large military presence there. They arm and fund, Saudi Arabia to make sure Saudi Arabia stays the stable force. Basically, they're like their proxy, strong arm in the Middle East. And the thing is, a lot of people, and it was mentioned in the comments, who's gotten more hate than Mohammed bin Salman, or the Saudis. But really, the same stands true. Saudi Arabia is like the strong arm in the Middle East, and if they collapse, then who takes over? Iran. Then where's everybody going to be with their Saudi hate? Because if you're hating on Saudi, that means you want the Iranians to come take in. And it's like, no, we don't want the Iranians to take over. But that's what's going to happen. And so we're here in a situation where we're trying to pick the lesser of evils in our, for lack of a better term. And so, I mean, I'd rather see America stick around for a while, because I don't know who's gonna. The French, okay, the French will sell the Muslims weapons, because, you know, as a Qatari's told me one time, he says the French are the whores of the weapon world. They'll just sell to anybody. He's like, but their weapons are subpar. He's like, so we prefer American equipment. He says, when we can't get American equipment, we take French equipment. So, but the French, they don't manufacture to a level that, you know, Muslim nations need. And Germany, although Germany does sell tanks and weapons to Middle Eastern countries that are pro, you know, U.S. and allied with U.S. and NATO and whatnot, the Germans are too moralistic. Oh, well, you're using the tanks to defend your nation. Actually, you're shooting at people who are shooting at you. What are you? Is this ain't a Maybach, man? What are you talking about? we ain't, you know, driving around, you know, flossing down the street in this thing, buddy. What did you think we were going to do with this?
You know what? I can respect. Okay, look, this is going to sound bad. Okay, but I can respect nations like Russia. Okay, because they operate on that old school OG type shit. You know, I heard a story, and I don't know if this is true or not. Okay, but I heard this story, and somebody can fact check me. It may be complete bullshit, but here it is. Okay, you ever notice how, like, when, you know, white people are getting snatched up by like, you know, crazy Muslims, like by like radicalized Muslims, and they're doing the whole beheadings and stuff, like, you don't see any Russians, right? And the reason being is because apparently they tried that once, right? With some Russians, and the Russians were like, oh, okay, yeah, we got you, you know, like we got your demands. And they delivered him a box, and in the box was the head of like one of the kidnappers' brothers, another's cousin, like their heads, dude, and then a list of like all their family members. Like, that's what they sent them. Okay, like that type of shit. That's when you're dealing with, and I'm not. Please, when I say this, I'm not in any way talking about the actual religion itself, but just people. Okay, when you're dealing with a savage, okay, you need to come savage. When you're dealing with crazy, you need to come crazy, because that's all that's understood. Okay, and that's not just military or whatever. That's life.
Just that comes down to the streets as well. That's life. Yeah.
You know what? I had this it wasn't even an altercation, but some dude, we were down in Santa Monica at the pier, right? About 30 yards behind us, all of a sudden this dude gets up and starts running, like kind of in our direction, you know, or in our direction, right? And he's yelling something. My wife goes, Bobby, he's running at you. And I turn around, and dude he's running at me, right? But when I turned around and he saw that I saw him, he kind of ran around, like he didn't run straight at me, you know? So already in my mind, I'm like, oh, okay, dude's full of shit. Because if he was trying to hurt me, it would have just happened right now. You know what I mean? Like, it would have. So he ran around, and in my mind, I'm going, oh, fuck, dude, I'm going to get in trouble for this. You know, because like I'm thinking, I boo-bop dude right here, I'm going to get in trouble, you know, and like police and all this other stuff, right? So I'm just telling him, and he's yelling, he's going, Felipe, you know, and I'm going, Felipe, like, and so I took I had a mask on, you know, and I was like, hey, look, not Felipe, bro, like, come on, you know, and I have my hand out like this, and he had his hands down by his sides, right, but they were bald, so like balled up. So in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, if this dude raises his hands, I'm gonna have to just drop him.
Yeah.
But this is what the point I'm getting at is, you can be cool and nice and whatever, but when you're dealing with some crazy or some violent or some whatever, it has to be immense, fast, just done, right? Yeah. So you just have to be able and willing to deal an immense amount of violence quickly, decisively, and done. It ain't the movies with fucking Bruce Lee to where you're throwing a million punches and kicks and all that stuff. No, it's just an overwhelming amount of violence fast, and it's over. And it's over. You know.
Yeah.
That's it.
You know, quick question, Bobby. According to like white people, are Russians seen as like the apex in terms of like white masculinity, or do Americans kind of challenge that? Do they feel that it's not the case? Because in like amongst us, I don't know how it is in America, but in my black community, we see Russians as like the top white people. Like when we think of white people, we have respect for Russians in terms of like we know that we're dealing with men.
I've never thought of myself as a spokesperson for white people exclusively. so like I can't.
You're on the spot now, homie.
I can't really. Yeah, I can't. I don't really want to. Label myself as any type of expert opinion or anything. I mean,
from an American perspective, then.
Yeah. Now, I will say it from an American perspective and from a personal perspective. Personally, I think that Russians are hard. Like in general, like they're in a hard environment. And they're just freaking hard people. And like, hey, good on them, I guess. Right. As an American, I would challenge that anybody's more tougher than an American, and that's because I'm an American. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I would just like, nah, there ain't nobody tougher than us. And that's that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Going back to what you were saying, Bobby, I actually have a saying. I say, deal with reasonable people reasonably. Deal with unreasonable people extra unreasonable. And the reason why I say this is because their status quo is unreason. So if you speak to them, you're speaking to him on a language that he's not going to understand. You already have to up the game, on him. Reasonable people, you can just be more reasonable than them, and they'll be like, oh, okay, logic and reason rules with them. So you can start off there, but unreasonable people, they're already like not in a normal state of mind. So you have to be extra unreasonable so they understand it. I've been saying that for years, man. It's in my book, actually, The Mad Monkey. It's in my book.
And that's really what it is, and people will get into this. Now we're talking about fighting, but I just got to say it. People get into this, like they'll get into like a talking match, or like they might shove back, or they're like in each other's face, and they're like, oh, like, and all that is all shit you don't do. Okay. You don't do that.
Strike.
You just look, you're nice, you're cool, you're this, you're that, you're whatever. Hey, everything's good. And then like in that point that you've got in your mind where it's like, if this happens, this is happening, right? When that happens, it just goes to bop out or whatever, however you're going to do it. And that's that, like just done, over. You don't get into a battle with someone. You don't want to get hurt.
This right here, excuse me. Sorry, guys. This is what I'm talking about. When Trump is gone, we're not going to see this happening right here. Imagine Biden doing this right here. Hold on. Give me a second right here. Oh, Biden is not going to do this. U.S. declared China committed genocide against Uyghur Muslims. Biden's not going to do that. You think Camilla is going to do this?
Yeah.
She's going to jump on them? The Trump administration has determined that China has committed genocide and crimes against humanity. He did this the day he's out the office. Tell me that dude's not a G. He's like, I'm out here tomorrow. Hold up. Let me write this real quick.
I've already heard stuff like we're going back into like the Paris Accords and we're doing all this other crap that, he got. And it's just like, that's just because there's a lot of money opportunities to be made there. Look, you make money in politics. These people that, like Pelosi and all these other people that live in like these big walled mansions and all this stuff, they didn't make that money from politics. I know people say, oh, well, her husband, is this and that, well, check it out. He got work from her too. You know what I mean? I know Feinstein's husband did. And it's like, they get into that for the power and the networking and all that stuff. So it's just, it is what it is, man. That's part of the game. Show business.
Absolutely, man. But I mean, this is what I'm saying. When we're looking at the new political landscape, these guys, man, they're so lame. Is that the right word I'm looking for? I don't even know if that's the right word I'm looking for. They're pathetic. And we ain't gonna see Camilla up here like bucking up to China. Can you imagine Sleepy Joe? He heading up against China. Well,
it is really a bummer because a lot of that masculine energy from America, like kind of like the cousin or the brother that would step up and kind of help out and all that stuff, that's gone. It's gone. I get real bummed out because the generation that I was raised, by my grandparents, and they were born in 1920 and 1922 respectively, and they just had like a different outlook on life and a different way of acting that I kind of received from them and use today, and a lot of that is gone. And the fact that that's gone, and I see what it's replaced with, I'm bummed out, because there is none of that step up energy. It's just like this docile, passive aggressive wimpiness, and I'm bummed by that.
Yeah.
Do you think it's because we've given women too much of a say?
No, I don't think. So. I think that it is more than that, right? Because it's not so much that a women have a say. It's that you have men that are trying to please women, right? You have, in that instance, or you have people that are trying to please everyone. And that's getting back to that whole democratic, let's give everybody a trophy. Everyone deserves an equal voice and an equal opportunity and all this other bullshit, right? And that's what the downfall is. It's when people, I was just talking about this with a friend the other day. It's when people deny their roles that they run into problems, both on the micro and macro scale. Okay. In your life, if you're having problems, okay, it's because you're denying some essence of what you are, or who you should be, or how you should be, and you can look at that in the spiritual sense and the physical sense. However, there's something going on that you are just not in line with, right? And that happens on a big level too. When people start denying who they are and what their roles are, you have problems.
Jeff Henning, he says something that
Jeff,
I agree.
Hey, Jeff's my guy right here.
Oh, nice. Okay.
By the way, Jeff's I don't think he's doing it at the moment, although I could be wrong. But Jeff was a prison chaplain for a long time. Jeff's been
okay. ARP,
Jeff and I have followed each other for a while.
Prison chaplain. Okay, that makes sense now. But he makes a good comment. It makes sense that he hangs with you. He says any masculinity in the president's office leaves with Trump. Heck, Kamala Harris has more masculinity than Joe Biden.
Seems so. Seems so. It seems so.
It's a mess.
Yeah, and I know she's got a California history too. Camilla. She was I want to say the district attorney of something out here.
Man, you know what? I spend my time with vetting women, and let me tell you something. That woman's got a deviousness in her eyes that is unmistakable. If you have spent time with women, that face should spook you. If you see her and you want to rub on her, you'd be like, "Oh, hold up, something ain't right with this girl."
Well, bro, you know why? It's because she's a politician. That is what they do, and I'm surprised that like we're having to school this generation on this. Like this is some kind of news or something. Politicians lie, and they lie for a job, for a living. Their job is bullshit. Yeah, like it's not like for fun or for whatever. Like that's their money. It's kind of like a used, or well, I shouldn't say used because new car salesmen do it too, but like car salesmen, right? At least back in the day, they go back to their managers, their sales managers, and tell them anything to say, hey, go back and tell them this, go back and tell them that, bullshit. They lie for a living.
Insincerity.
And that's what politicians,
there's a lot of insincerity.
They're right at that level, And people, and the fact that we have these elections, right? And like they hold these people up like they're some kind of pillars of just like our future and like morality and everything. Like they'll do paintings and art on them, and like they take pictures of them where they're like, you know what I mean? Like, oh my God, get out of here. It's just like, this is liars. They're doing that for.
Yeah, we said this earlier. A 89 ball, Biden's going to get replaced by Camilla. Biden's literally just there to get them into the office. Yeah, we talked about this earlier. 100%. I think everybody knows it, and everybody's just waiting for it to happen. I think we're all just standing around like, You waiting for that for I don't know for I'm not gonna say it since he's coming up to the I was gonna say we waiting for the trigger to get pulled. I'm not trying to get a visit by but you know what I'm saying? And figuratively speaking,
there we go. We just got banned again.
Video.
Thanks, Craig. This episode banned off of YouTube. Right now.
But anyway, I think we're all just waiting for the curtain to rise on that act. Let's say that. That's a better term to use.
Yeah, I mean, he looks like he just my wife's got this thing that she told me one time, like when she was like new to nursing, that I guess some patient died, and it's and she asked the instructor like what he died of, and they said TMB, and she goes, "What's that?" It's too many birthdays, right? Like they were just old, Like Biden looks like he's gonna TMB his way out. Like at this point, like where he's all doddering around,
Yeah, exactly.
They're probably going to say it's Corona.
He don't look like he's got much left.
They're probably going to say it's Corona, which will get the sympathy of the nation as well. It will fit right in the agenda.
Man,
Biden dies of Corona.
Sadiq, I would not doubt that one bit.
Yeah,
one bit. He's gonna die of Corona 3.0. It'll be like it'll be like the European Chinese American hybrid.
He's gonna go pet one of them little kids again, and it's gonna cough on him. He's gonna cough on him.
That's another thing, man. Like all those videos that came out of him like doing that was creepy as shit. Like,
that was weird. That was weird.
See photos of his son before Parler got taken down. Imagine it's like it was like maybe 2 days after all those pictures of his son showed up on Parler. Parler got taken down. So we know that Hunter Biden has some proclivities that we would consider to be questionable at best, with controlled substances, and then apparently with underage girls that he's directly related.
See, look, man, hey, drugs, I can get around, okay?
Yeah.
But like when you start fucking with underage kids,
that you're related to, your blood related to.
Yeah, that's even worse, obviously. But as soon as it's like, and underage children, like that should just be led with. You know what I mean? Like underage children, and the dude likes to do coke. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's too much.
Like that right there is what I mean. Sadiq, you know what happens?
Yeah. That's right off.
Come in with that on your jacket.
Yeah, you might as well kill yourself.
You're done.
Oh, Parler's back up again from Russian network after they done leaked everybody's information. Who's going to use it after they done gave away everybody's information, their addresses, pictures of their ID cards? Yeah. I think that site is dead. Yeah. This dude, Hunter, the son of the president to be, sniffing drugs off of the bare booty of his 14-year-old niece.
No.
What?
No. Is that real?
What?
That's real?
I saw pictures. I unfortunately, astaghfirullah, I shouldn't have gone there, but curiosity is
you saw it.
What?
And they warned me not to go look, and I went and looked, and Hunter Biden is in there banging a whole bunch of little young girls. This stuff was definitely criminal offenses. I was like, I was probably a criminal offense seeing that stuff, so, but it was on Parler. And then 2 days later, Parler was gone. But
there was videos of it.
It was everything on there.
So to be fair,
no.
If that was on Parler, right, and that was legit, I could see why Parler got banned. Because that's illegal as fuck in America. You can't have like.
Let's say this. I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. That kind of shocked me. I was like, okay, I've never in my life wanted to see anything like this. I didn't know it was that bad. I thought I was going to just go see him doing drugs and stuff like this, and then it turned out to be worse than I thought. So, if it's that bad that Parler should be, rightfully removed from the internet, why is Hunter Biden not rightfully removed from the American populace and put in jail?
Society.
Yeah. Right. What's going on here?
Right. It's a good question.
Wow.
It's a very good question.
That is mental.
I wasn't ready for that. I wasn't ready for what I saw. They didn't warn me, and I feel offended by both the fact that he is walking around free and that nobody told me what I was in for when I went onto that dang parlor.
But that's what leads me to being a bit of a conspiracy theorist, because apparently this is what they do. Allegedly, this is what they do. There's whole rings about them, you know. There's books about it. I don't know. It's just,
bro, and that's like that's just one of those things to where you know that anybody's doing shit like that. You know, it's like it makes them a person that you just like gone, like just get
yeah,
fuck out.
disgusting.
You know,
Yep.
yeah.
He's got to go, man. He shouldn't be walking around society.
No. You should be with Epstein right now.
Okay, so Jeff says Parler took illegal stuff down as soon as they knew about it. That's bogus. Twitter leaves up all of the porn. Yeah. I don't know what happened. I think that's too great of a coincidence, you know. Especially this close to the inauguration and all this stuff. I don't think that was accidental. I don't know, but like I said, guys, don't go looking for it. Do not go looking for it. Okay, just do me a favor. Don't go looking for it.
Well, no, don't go looking for it, especially if it's child porn, because then you're going to be freaking having child porn on your computer and shit. Don't go looking for it.
It was just real, bro. And nobody warns you. They just said it's bad, and you're like, okay, bad. All right, what do you mean bad? And then I went and looked.
You can get in trouble for that, legitimately. Yeah, you got to be careful with that stuff.
Yeah.
And if you know what it is, why fucking look at it anyway?
Yeah, exactly. That's why I warned everybody.
That's not.
But we got something going on in America.
It's amazing.
This is the guy. Look, if my son, I love my sons. I love all my sons. I have 6 sons. But if I caught them up in something like that, I go find them myself and I drag him down the street. I'm like, look, man, we can go see these police. And while we walking down here, I'm gonna be smacking you in the back of the head. You know what I'm saying? Like, is this what I did? Is this how I raised you? Okay, Sleepy Joe's kind of old to go get Hunter, but he got power. Go, hey goons, come here. You know this guy over here called my son. Smack him around a bit and bring him here real quick.
Seems like he's a chip off the old block. You know what I mean? From my perspective,
guys. I got an appointment that I got to bail to, like in a couple minutes. I got to drop off the car. It's getting handled at 10 o'clock.
All right, man. Well, yeah, we're gonna close off here anyway. We're like on an hour, so yeah. But if you got to go right now, I'll close everything out. We'll stay up like two or three more minutes, and then we'll close this out. Yeah.
Okay. I can stay up with you if you're doing that.
Oh, okay, I'll shut it down now then. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. Don't go out committing any criminal offenses, looking for Hunter Biden photos and videos, okay?
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah, don't.
I have warned you. I gave you the warning I didn't receive. I shouldn't have told y'all about it in the first place. That's my fault.
Now we're going to get banned for that, too. God
hey, wait a minute. Did I just admit to a criminal offense? No, I'm just playing. I'm good, man. I ain't know what's going on. But guys, thanks for tuning in. Number 21.
Yeah, I remember the Pete Townsend thing. I remember that. Yeah.
What happened with Pete Townsend? What is this? Hold on.
No, he had child porn on his computer, and he said he was investigating some whatever, and that's why it was on there. And
I don't know. I ain't got nothing saved on my computer, bro. I don't say nothing on here, man. I ain't saying nothing. Yeah,
okay.
But anyway, thanks for tuning in. Catch you next week, guys. We always come up with we always have a difficult time coming up with topics. Sometimes we got busy lives, whatever. So hit us up on the private message side of the game or whatever else on Twitter, and let us know if hey, check out this topic for OG Logic, and tag us and let us know if that's something that should be covered. You guys want to close out with something?
No, just I got the website up, bogdino.com. Come check out the blog, read the stories, and always feel free to hit me up on social media.
Nice.
All right.
No, nothing for now.
All right, then, guys, we're out.